Before we begin our hearing today, I want to start this entire process off by telling you to wipe that smug little smirk off your face, Mr. Blank. This is a serious matter, and you will treat it as such. Oh, I know it's serious, Your Honor. I was just brought out from a holding cell over this. It's very serious. You understand you are here today due to a severe violation of the order of protection placed on you by your estranged wife and child. Yes, and I would like to say that this violation is inaccurate and a complete twist on the facts. I am being punished for a live video posted on my social media account, when I never even spoke her name. The video had nothing to do with her. It is my understanding that you have, on multiple occasions, publicly expressed your desire for severe harm to occur to your ex, Faye Blank. Is this correct? I don't recall, and I don't see how old insults are relevant to this current issue. You don't recall, okay. Can you tell me who you were referring to in the book Face Live video? It was a hypothetical scenario, one that she used to report me falsely to my job and cause me to lose my livelihood. Did you receive confirmation that Ms. Blank was in fact the one who reported you to your job? No, but who else would have? No one. It was a simple video discussing what death would be like in different ways. I never said her name. But she's the one who will always think something is about her. So this entire situation is completely blown out of proportion, and Ms. Blank has no reason to be fearful of you. I mean, yeah, wouldn't you think so? Who else watches videos online and just assumes they are about themselves? I don't do that, but maybe that's because I'm a normal person. Mom, I believe that you have this video provided to the court as evidence. Is this correct? Yes, Your Honor. I have submitted the video, as well as multiple public posts in which Ms. Blank states he hopes I am gang raped, Abu Dollar Ed, and unalived in multiple different ways. I see. I would like for us to play the live video for the entire court today, so we can all see where the misunderstanding is coming from. Asterisk, the live stream is publicly played. After it ends, the entire courtroom is silent. Do you find something funny, Ms. Blank? No, of course not. I just think it's pretty ironic that Faye basically brought all the evidence to prove I'm right for me. We all just watched my live. And I very obviously never said her name or mentioned her. You think that just because you didn't say her name that a sane and rational person wouldn't be able to connect the dots of who you are discussing? I mean, people can assume all they want, but assumptions won't mean anything in a court of law, right? You need hard evidence. You have none. If it were just this video, yes, but this video, combined with the multitude of posts and videos you have put out in which you clearly do name her, gives me more than enough confidence to rule that you are indeed in willful violation of the PFA. Okay, that's fine. What's the fine or fee I have to pay? I'll pay whatever it takes to be able to use my freedom of speech. Oh no, sir. There will not be a fine or fee. This is not your first violation, and clearly you have no remorse for what you have done. I have absolutely no doubt this video was made as a very thinly veiled threat to Ms. Blank. The entire intention was to intimidate and terrify her. And she has every right to fear for her life after seeing this. In all of my years on the bench, I have never seen something quite as disturbing as this video, and the fact that you sit here so smug and cavalier about it makes it even more disturbing. Ma'am, the fact that you are able to come to court to face this man today after knowing what he had said about wanting to do to you is extremely brave. I don't know many people who could do the same if they were in your shoes. Asterisk, at this point, I began to shake and cry. The victim's advocate that came with me had to help hold me up on my feet. Was someone finally going to believe me and take this seriously? Asterisk. Mr. Blank, due to your blatant violations of the PFA and your violation of your probation by running from officers when they first attempted to detain you, the court hereby revokes your probation and sentences you to 1 year in Blank County Jail. Am I able to go to my home first before beginning my sentence? I have things that need to be taken care of before going to prison this time. Sir, you were just on the run for an entire month. No, you are not free to leave this courtroom without a sheriff escorting you to jail. I wasn't on the run. I was around. All I did was visit friends and family. That isn't wrong. You failed to check in with your probation officer as you are required to do. That is enough to send you back to jail without anything else. Yeah, because I am honestly sick of dealing with this county and all that goes with it, but I need to go back home before going to jail. It's essential. I have to clean my fish tank. Now is not the time to worry about your fish. I'm sure your family will handle that for you. That isn't safe. The coral in my fish tank can potentially emit a poisonous toxin when exposed to air. I am the only one who can properly care for it. So it doesn't end up unaliving my neighbors or family who may just be trying to help. Poisonous coral isn't enough to get you out of this, Mr. Blank. You are going to face the consequences of your actions today. A town man will spend time in prison on a probation violation after a recording of a video he made describing ways to inflict a slow, painful unaliving on someone troubled Blank County judge. I have never seen something as disturbing as that video in my career. Judge Blank told Rodney during their hearing, words mean something, and this is flagrantly violent speech. And a scary situation. Rodney attempted to downplay the intent of the video, claiming it to be just adult conversation or stuff men would talk about in the locker room. But Judge Blank found that more than free speech was involved, noting that threats aren't protected under the law. 8 minutes on the best way to unalive someone, the judge said after reviewing the video in court. It scares the heck out of me just sitting here talking to you about it. He revoked Rodney's probation and sentenced him to 12 months in prison. Judge Blank also ordered he have a mental health evaluation and renewed a strict no-contact order with Rodney's estranged wife. Faye, I am just now seeing the article written about your case with Rodney and I saw the video. Oh my God, I have no words. I am so sorry. I had no idea any of this was happening. I don't know if you know a lot about when we were kids, but Rodney and I have never been close after we left home. Still, I should have known and done something to help. I know you guys were in foster care, and there was Abu Dalari in the home. I can't imagine how that probably affected you both growing up, and I don't blame you for not knowing. I didn't want anyone to know until I was ready to leave. Abu Dalari. The only Abu Dalari in the home was from Rodney. Even after our foster parents adopted us, he was the Abu Dalarer. What do you mean? He had always told me about how his adopted parents were extremely how they had broken bones and starved him as a kid. Oh my God. No, they didn't. They did the best job they could with him, but he was pure evil even as a kid. That's why none of us are really involved with him now. We would have believed you about his behavior because we all lived through. What did he do? He always made it seem like he was the victim. I can't believe I was ever even stupid enough to believe him, thinking about it now. Of course it was just another lie to manipulate me. My God, what didn't he do? He used to hit on our parents, and he even broke Dad's arm once during one of his fits. He would Abu Dalari the new foster kids that would get placed in the house in weird ways, like by taking metal from the railroad track by our house and burning them with it. Once he tried to suffocate me because I annoyed him while he was playing a game, and there was something that happened with a neighborhood girl. Nobody would tell me what it was. But after that, he wasn't allowed out of the house anymore. Our parents really tried. They would send him to all sorts of institutions and homes to get help, but he always ended up being sent back. We were all terrified of him. I felt sick. Hearing this was like having a light bulb go off in my head. Everything I ever knew about this man was a lie. I married and had a child with a complete stranger. While Rodney was incarcerated, we decided to file a petition to be allowed to relocate to a different state with son, as well as a request to bifurcate our divorce since Rodney had refused to agree to anything. A bifurcation of divorce would allow for us to be officially divorced, despite not having all details of the case settled. Since we had it in record that Rodney was clearly dangerous and admitted to refusing to agree to our divorce, we were confident it would be granted. We were given a court date that was only a week after Rodney was sentenced, and on the day of court, we discovered that the judge assigned to the case was the same judge who presided over the PFA violation hearing. Today's hearing is to determine if a bifurcation of divorce is appropriate for this case. I understand. No, before this hearing begins, I am requesting that you recuse yourself, Judge Blank. You are clearly extremely biased against me, and I fear that you will continue to violate my rights if allowed to preside over my divorce case. I know my rights, and I demand you Very well. I am more than happy to recuse myself. There is another judge who is available to preside over this hearing. I will call for him to come take over. Asterisk judge leaves the courtroom. Minutes later, a much younger judge sits at the bench to replace him. It should be noted that the new judge was present in the courtroom during the PFA violation trial asterisk. Okay, my name is Judge Blank, and I will be taking over from this point. I understand that this is in regards to the divorce of Rodney and Faye Blank. We can't just continue on with the trial when you have no idea of our case history. This hearing needs to be rescheduled for a later date so that you will be prepared. Completely unnecessary. I am aware of the case history, and I am more than confident that we will be able to get this divorce handled appropriately. Now, ma'am, I see here you are requesting a bifurcation of divorce. Why do you believe that is necessary? Yes, Your Honor. I am requesting this due to the history of abuse and harassment from my ex, Rodney Blank. He refuses to cooperate or agree to the divorce in any way. We have been legally separated the required time frame of the state, and he is using the divorce as his last opportunity to abuse and control me. I understand that we are a long way away from settling our custody matter due to the extended PFA and his refusal to adhere to the orders. I just want to be free from this marriage. Completely understandable. Sir, is there a valid reason in which you refuse to agree to the divorce? I don't refuse to divorce. I simply won't allow it until we have evenly split all property and assets. She has yet to disclose the contents of her 401k. And she is planning on taking my child out of state with her affair partner. I do not consent to that. If that means I need to stay married to someone I hate to ensure my son is not taken from me, I will do so. By no means does that mean I want to be with her. Clearly, I don't. What other marital assets are you concerned about? The only thing of value is the 401k. If she is wanting to end this marriage, she needs to give me what is rightfully mine. I am more than happy to split the 401 kiloseconds. I would need both of you to provide the current amounts available in your 401k. Would you be able to do so? There is nothing left in my 401k. I was forced to withdraw it after she cost me my job. It was the only way I was able to survive for weeks. That's why I refused to allow her to take the portion of hers that belongs to me. Well, that makes this very simple, doesn't it? Since you drained your entire 401,000 account while evading arrest, you are not entitled to any portion of Ms. Blank's. That's a marital asset. It is mine by right, and you can't take it from me. My 401k was used during the marriage. Your 401k was used post-separation, in which you should have been aware to not drain or spend marital assets or possessions until the divorce agreement is completed. When you willfully drained your 401k, you also willfully took Ms. Blank's portion that was rightfully hers to claim if she chose to. Therefore, you have no claim to hers. This isn't right. No, I don't agree to this. I still do not agree to the divorce. I want to speak to legal counsel about this. I understand, but our state does not require you to agree to the divorce. While we cannot settle the matter of custody today, I see no reason not to grant the bifurcation of divorce that has been requested. Your Honor, would we be able to continue with the petition to relocate during this hearing as well? Unfortunately, we do need to schedule a separate hearing for a relocation request. But for today's matter, the courts officially grant and recognize the divorce of Rodney and Faye Blank. Congratulations! You are both legally single. We will schedule the hearing for your relocation request within the next 4 weeks, Ms. Blank. We will excuse you first before Mr. Blank is taken back into custody. Court is now dismissed. Court is now in session to hear the request for relocation concerning the minor child of Rodney Blank and Faye Blank. The petitioner, Faye Blank, is requesting the court's permission to move the child to this state. Mr. Blank, am I correct in the assumption that you are not in agreement to the relocation? Damn right I'm not. My kid is not moving across the country. I need you to actually say a reason you do not agree with the relocation. Because she won't follow the court order if she is allowed to move away. All I am allowed because of her is 1 phone call a day. If she moves, she will stop letting me talk to my son. That's only going to hurt him. Ms. Blank cites a concern for both her and son's safety if she is to remain in the area. Would you think this is a valid concern? No. Have I hurt her or son? No, I haven't. She just continually makes outrageous statements and everyone eats them up because she's a professional victim. So you are still claiming that the accusations of domestic violence are not factual. And I will continue to do so, because it's not true. Do you have a history of violence? I've gotten in a few fights, sure, nothing to warrant this. So what can you tell me about the felony charge of domestic violence you had out of this state, in which you reportedly angled a romantic partner and slammed their head into a tile floor? I can say that this has nothing to do with that, and I already did anger management classes, so that doesn't even matter anymore. I see. Is there anything else the court should be aware of before moving on to Ms. Blank? Nope, only that I don't agree, and she already interferes with my phone calls as is, so if she is allowed to move, I know it will only get worse. Thank you, ma'am. Why do you believe it is in the child's best interest to move so far away from his biological father? There are multiple reasons. The main reason is that I have a very real and valid fear for our safety if we remain in the area after Mr. Blank is released from jail. Seeing as he is currently incarcerated for violating parole and his violation of the FOIA filed against him, I think it is very clear that he is willing